Although they are thousands of miles away from each other, Aries and Raquel's love story continues. But over time, the distance begins to weigh heavily on Raquel, as the late-night texts and video calls no longer feel enough. If you haven't seen part 1 of how the love story between these two, a wealthy heir and a girl from a humble home, first began, check the pinned comment or the description for the link. Now back to the story. One day, Aries hints that he has a surprise for her, and when Raquel hears the doorbell, she excitedly opens the gate, only to be met with disappointment. It is just a delivery guy. Aries had sent her a pair of earphones so they could talk more often. It's his sweet way of making them feel closer. Days pass, and for a while, just messaging, video calling, and talking on the phone is enough. But soon, the distance starts to wear on them, especially Aries, who is living far from home. Raquel is also very busy with school and work. She's studying creative writing, and Aries is in medical school. They can't always talk, and when they don't, it hurts. They begin to wonder if the relationship can survive the distance. One day, Aries is feeling down and calls Raquel, but she's out with her friends, and her phone dies. Aries is at a bar, and some girls from his class invite him to hang out, but instead of joining them, he just goes home. Later, when Raquel gets back and calls him, he's already asleep. Aries starts to question the relationship. He begins hanging out with his classmates more often and starts to enjoy going out. He becomes close with one of the girls, Vera. One night, after drinking, he makes a mistake with her and feels awful afterward. He starts to wonder if staying in the relationship is the right thing, but at the same time, he misses Raquel badly. He records a voice message, crying, saying he needs to see her and that he's having doubts, but he never sends it. Meanwhile, Raquel is having her own doubts. She's even thinking about the idea of an open relationship. There's a guy in her class named Gregory who's always flirting with her, and she finds herself drawn to him. During summer break, Aries messages Raquel asking about her plans, but she doesn't respond. Then her professor calls her and reminds her to pay more attention in class and not get distracted by her phone. Raquel feels stuck. She loves Aries, but the distance isn't helping her grow. Gregory invites her to a party over the break, and her friend Daniela tells her she should go. Daniela says she shouldn't put her life on hold just because Aries is away doing who knows what. Raquel decides to go to Gregory and accept his invite, but before she reaches him, she stops. She looks at him, unsure if she's making the right choice. Then Aries shows up out of nowhere. She's so shocked she can't even speak. After a moment, she runs to him and they hug and kiss. Daniela isn't happy when she hears Aries is back. She doesn't think he's right for Raquel. She rushes to their other friend Yoshi and tells him they need to come up with a way to keep Raquel and Aries apart. Aries takes Raquel to his family's beach house. On the way, he says he just had to see her after being apart for so long, but Raquel doesn't seem too excited about his return. There's a strange silence between them in the car, like they've forgotten how to talk to each other. The house is on a quiet and beautiful beach in Catalonia. It's Raquel's first time being there with Aries. They start kissing, and things begin to get a little intense. But just before it goes further, they hear a noise from inside the house. It turns out Aries' brother Artemis is there with their maid and his lover Claudia. To make things worse, Apollo shows up with Daniela and Yoshi, turning the weekend into a pool party. Even though it's not what Aries hoped for, they end up having some fun. Later, when they finally get time alone, Raquel and Aries become intimate, but something feels off. The spark between them is gone. Raquel suggests they spend more time together and try to reconnect. She's hopeful that with time, things can go back to how they were. Meanwhile, Artemis is having problems of his own. He's in a secret relationship with their housemaid Claudia. They grew up together, but Artemis hides the relationship because he's scared of how his parents will react. Claudia is tired of being kept in the shadows and gives him an ultimatum. Later, while everyone is hanging out in the house, Artemis plans to finally tell everyone the truth about his relationship. But before he can say anything, their parents arrive unexpectedly, stopping him. His parents assume Claudia is just there to help with the house, and Artemis doesn't correct them. Claudia feels crushed and humiliated. She realizes that Artemis is too afraid to stand up for her and that he's ashamed of being with her. That evening, Raquel steps away to send her manuscript to a publisher. At the last moment, she hesitates, but then Yoshi messages her, telling her she should send it. He saw her unsure about it and believes her writing is amazing. Raquel is surprised. He read it when not even Aries had. Yoshi goes to talk to her, knowing she's having second thoughts about Aries. He understands how hard it must be to deal with a long-distance relationship in her early 20s. He reminds her that this is the time to enjoy life and figure out who she is, not spend it worrying about a relationship that's wearing her down. Aries, on the other hand, is also feeling lost. He sees how much distance has grown between him and Raquel. He doesn't know what to do. He talks to Artemis, who comforts him. Aries isn't sure about medical school or going back to Sweden. Artemis tells him he understands and reminds him that he'll always be there for him. The next day, Aries and Raquel spend some time together, just the two of them. They stop at a small restaurant to buy some water, and Raquel runs into Gregory. She feels awkward. She had told Gregory she was traveling with her mother. Then Aries shows up. He and Gregory already know each other, but Gregory doesn't realize Aries is Raquel's boyfriend. Aries introduces himself to Raquel like he doesn't know her, pretending not to give anything away. He quickly picks up that Gregory likes Raquel, but feels a little better knowing she hasn't given Gregory any encouragement. Later, Aries and Raquel go on a boat trip with his parents. Yoshi quietly watches them swimming together. He knows deep down that their relationship is hanging by a thread. He knows Raquel, and it's clear she hasn't been happy with Aries for a long time. They go swimming and spend some quiet time together away from the boat, but on their way back, another boat shows up, and Aries is instantly filled with dread. A girl on the boat is shouting his name. It's Vera. Thankfully, Vera doesn't cause a scene, but Vera's mom makes comments about how Vera and Aries would make the perfect couple, which clearly bothers Raquel. Vera invites them to hang out, and Aries agrees. That evening, everyone sits down to eat together, including Raquel's friends. They quickly notice that Vera seems interested in Aries. Soon enough, she starts talking about her time with Aries in Sweden. Daniela looks at Raquel, but Raquel has no words. She's clearly uncomfortable and hurt. She didn't even know Vera existed, let alone that she was that close to Aries. It makes her uneasy. When Yoshi brings up Raquel's novel, she gets upset and leaves the table. Aries wants to follow her, but Vera goes instead. Surprisingly, Vera gives Raquel some thoughtful advice. They realize they have things in common. Vera shares that her dad walked out on her and her mom when she was young. Raquel tells her that her own father passed away. Writing is her way of honoring him. Vera says she's in med school because her father was a doctor. She tells Raquel to take her time and think about what she really wants in life. She shouldn't be chasing after someone who doesn't show up for her anymore. Later, they all go to a party. Daniela warns Raquel again. She should keep an eye on Aries and Vera, but Raquel refuses to be suspicious. She wants to believe they're just friends. Aries later sees Vera talking to Raquel and starts to panic. He's worried Vera might reveal the mistake he made in Sweden. After the party, Aries casually asks Raquel what Vera talked to her about. Raquel simply says it wasn't anything important. Aries is relieved. But things get worse. Daniela sends Raquel a photo of Vera wearing one of Aries' shirts. Raquel confirms it's a shirt, but she's too shocked to say anything. She tries not to overthink it, telling herself there might be a reason. But the next day, Aries is wearing the exact same shirt. To make it worse, Vera sticks by Aries the whole day. Raquel can't stop the doubts from taking over. Gregory shows up too and finally realizes Raquel is dating Aries. Raquel tries to stay calm. She invites Aries to swim with her, but he turns her down. He stays with Vera instead. Raquel feels her heart slowly breaking. Gregory sees her staring at Aries all day and decides to talk to her. He tells her what he knows about Aries, that he's known for being a heartbreaker, always changing girlfriends. Raquel tries to justify Aries' behavior, but deep down, she knows the truth. Later, she decides to find out for herself. She suggests they all play a game of truth or dare. When it's her turn, she bluntly asks Aries if he has slept with Vera. When neither he nor Vera answered, Raquel finally confirmed what she feared. She's crushed. She never imagined Aries would betray her like that. Raquel is packing her bags to leave when Yoshi arrives. For the first time, she breaks down crying, and he comforts her. Then Aries shows up to talk. For once, they speak honestly. Aries tells her that his past year in Sweden had been tough. He started doubting if medical school was really for him, but he never told Raquel because he didn't want her to worry. He says Vera noticed he was going through a hard time and tried to help. They became friends and started going out. During one of those nights, he ended up sleeping with her, though he says he doesn't remember anything because he was drunk. Hearing this makes Raquel feel even worse. Instead of leaning on her, he turned to someone else. Aries admits he was scared Raquel would think less of him. She was doing well, moving forward, while he was stuck. But Raquel finds his excuse meaningless. She leaves with her friends. Meanwhile, Artemis and Claudia also end their relationship. Artemis saw her with another man and jumped to the wrong conclusion. He embarrasses her in front of everyone and fires her from her job. Later, he regrets it deeply. He really does love Claudia. He was just too afraid to tell his parents about her. There's one last party. Raquel decides she doesn't want to think about her messy love life anymore. She just wants to relax and enjoy time with her friends. Aries and his brothers skip the party. He's heartbroken over Raquel, and Artemis is still down about Claudia. Apollo tries to convince them to go out, but only Artemis agrees. Back at the house, Aries is alone when Vera shows up. She tries to flirt with him, but Aries ignores her. He doesn't feel the same way. That's when Vera finally comes clean. She tells him they never actually slept together. They just fell asleep. She liked Aries and hoped he'd grow closer to her if he thought they had a romantic connection. But he didn't. Now that he's single, she wants to try again. But Aries is furious. He wants to find Raquel and tell her the truth. Meanwhile, Raquel runs into Gregory, and while they are flirting with each other, Yoshi interrupts them. He thought that her and Daniela would be partying together, but he ended up being alone again. Yoshi decides to head home, but while picking up his motorcycle, he accidentally knocks over a row of bikes belonging to a group of gangsters. Panicked, he speeds off, but the gangsters manage to chase after him. Meanwhile, Gregory brings Raquel to his store, and there, they start to become steamy. But when things are about to escalate, Raquel stops him and says that she can't do it. On the other hand, the gangsters continue to chase after Yoshi, until he crashes into a car and is thrown off the cliff. Aries sees the accident from his house, so he rides a speedboat and rushes to it. There he finds Yoshi unconscious, so he tries to resuscitate him, but it's no use. Yoshi is already gone. Raquel later arrives, and she gets devastated after seeing the lifeless body of her best friend. The next day, Aries tries to comfort Raquel, but she stays distant from him. In the funeral, Raquel becomes infuriated after seeing her friend wearing a black suit, saying that Yoshi hates that color. To calm her down, Aries takes her outside where she continues lashing out, even blaming Aries for not saving Yoshi. Aries snaps back, blaming Rachel for ditching Yoshi to go off with Gregory. Raquel was not able to answer, and she just leaves. During her speech, Raquel tearfully apologizes to Yoshi, saying sorry for not spending more time with him, for wasting so much energy on a relationship that didn't matter. Yoshi was always there for her, and now he's not. Aries gets hurt while listening to her speech, realizing that the girl he still loves now regrets the time they spent together. He eventually returns to Sweden, still in love with her. It's painful, but he knows he has to let her go. Meanwhile, Raquel learns that Yoshi did something incredible before he died. He sent her manuscript to the publisher, and they liked it. They will soon publish her book, and Raquel is overwhelmed with emotion. Yoshi believed in her talent more than anyone ever had. In the end, Raquel closes the window that faces Aries' house, the window where their love story has started. Did you like our movie recap? Please don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. To be updated for new movie recaps, hit the notification bell.